Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back. We're obviously not in the garden. Girls, do you want to say where we are?
Green Acres.
We are at the plant store. Woohoo! We are actually at Roseville. I don't think you guys can see it through my dirty car, but we are at the Roseville Green Acres, which this is the one that just opened last November. And I took you guys here on a garden center tour for like the grand opening, but it was still like winter time. There wasn't a ton of stuff there. So I really have a feeling that this new giant garden center is going to have tons of fun stuff. And we are like a week away from our last frost. And so I know I should have waited. We should have waited a week, but I just couldn't help myself. We just had to go. You excited, Shay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sadie, you
Yes.
excited? Jason?
Of course.
You look so excited. Jason's sweet and he does come with us. So what I'm looking for today, I'm looking for a vining plant to go up my tour in the front yard. Maybe something to go in the cottage garden, and then definitely things to go in my shade garden bed where my new bench is. All right?
All right.
All right, let's go. Hi everyone. I thought I would narrate this garden center tour because we found so many wonderful things. I had to hold myself back a bit. Our patio table is broken at home, so we are definitely in the market for a new one. We checked out what they had at the garden center. Everything was so nice, and I really liked the set with the light wood and the concrete fire pit, but it was all a bit out of our price range, unfortunately. So we decided to move on, but not before checking out this amazing table with Lazy Susan on it. The girls loved it and begged us to get it, so we might have to get a Lazy Susan in the future. One of my favorite parts of the garden center are the decor tables. They had these cute mossy mushrooms, which I thought might make a pretty good DIY project, actually. Then I found these concrete birds. I've been wanting to add more concrete into my garden, and at $3.50 each, I couldn't help myself. Jason, of course, ever resourceful, found some garden art that he thinks I needed to get. He makes fun of me for forgetting where I plant herbaceous plants like hostas and then bulbs, and then they pop up in the spring and I'm always surprised. I did not purchase this sign. Okay, back to the cute birdies. We ended up finding about 5 of them stashed all over this table, and I'm sorry to say, but I purchased all of them. So I apologize to anyone who came here after me. They were just too cute, and I really hope they have more stocked in the back so that they could restock this, but I just loved them so much and was so excited to have them. All right, now moving on to why we all are really here, and that is to see the beautiful plants they have. Like I said, we're about a week away from our last frost, so it's not fully stocked here yet, but each time I come, I can see more and more tables full of beautiful flowers. I never realized how beautiful primrose smells until this year. The scent is just so beautiful, and I think I need to do a big pot of primrose that I can put inside my kitchen so I can enjoy the scent all day long. There was a whole aisle dedicated to ranunculus, which I absolutely loved. I had to hold myself back from getting some of these because I do have these growing in my garden right now, and I'm sure they're going to bloom soon, but I was just so tempted because I think these flowers are beautiful, along with these hellebores. They had so many hellebores out. Oh my goodness, you guys. Tulips and daffodils and anemones. It was just like spring blew up here. I was just so happy, and it was getting me so excited to start the gardening season because seeing these flowers, these particular flowers, means spring is here, at least for us here in California. Okay, time to get down to business and start looking for some of the plants that I really need in my garden. I spotted these white calla lilies immediately and ran to grab them. I find these flowers so romantic and so peaceful, if that makes sense. Last year I tried to find some of these to put in my crepe myrtle garden bed, but I couldn't get my hands on these common white ones. They sell out so fast. So I grabbed 3 of them, and literally someone came up right behind me and took a few more as soon as I was done. So if you see these in your garden center, get them fast. Right next to the calla lilies was another of my favorites, heliotrope. I think I talked your ears off last year about this flower, but I am just obsessed with it. The smell is intoxicating. When blooming, it has gorgeous purple blooms and a beautiful vanilla scent that makes me stop to smell them every time I walk by them in my garden. When I saw these at the garden center today, I grabbed 5. Yes, 5. So I decided to change my focus from my shade garden bed and my cottage garden bed to my crepe myrtle garden bed because I just thought the calla lilies and the heliotrope would both look so beautiful there. We saw some lupin and some heath, and then we were drawn towards these angel wings senecio. I hope I'm saying that right. I took out some Dusty Miller from the crepe myrtle garden bed at the end of last year, so I knew I wanted something silver to take its place. I've actually never grown this plant, and I'm so excited to see how it does in my garden. These plants were absolutely huge, so I really think it was like a good bang for your buck type of plant. So you can see the warm season veggies aren't in quite yet. We usually plant tomatoes and things in April to early May. And again, more hellebores. And spoiler alert, I ended up purchasing these lime green ones and am now officially obsessed. Okay, so the hellebores I am planning to put in the crepe myrtle garden bed along with the calla lilies and the heliotrope. Now, we changed our focus to look for a vining plant for my obelisk that is over by my Eden rose arch on the side of my front yard. I took a plumbago out because it was just so unruly and getting too big there, so I needed to find something to replace it with. We saw Carolina jessamine, this purple lilac vine, which I love, but it really doesn't bloom very long for us here. We also saw some pink jasmine and clematis and trumpet vine. I seriously could not make up my mind. I'm thinking about planting some kind of annual vine right there this year until I can decide exactly what I want to go in that spot. All right, back to the crepe myrtle garden bed. I hope you all know what I'm talking about if you're watching this video. The crepe myrtle garden bed is just what I call a garden bed that's in my front yard that has a crepe myrtle tree in it. We also have some landscape rocks there, and I have been looking for some ground cover to go right in front of the landscape rocks. I had some lantana there last year, and the lantana just completely covered the landscape rocks. And it's just, they're so pretty. The rocks are, I want to be able to see them when I put things in there. So my girls and I were sitting here and we were trying to decide what ground cover we wanted to end up with to go in that spot in the crepe myrtle garden bed, and we decided on this creeping Jenny, which I thought was beautiful. They did have a ground cover mint, which I thought was amazing and it smelled so good, but then I probably would have mint all over my garden, right? Because we all know how much mint spreads. So we decided not to get that. We were admiring the camellias. The camellias are just so beautiful this time of year. I just love them so much. Sadie found this gorgeous pink one here, and I had to hold myself back from getting more camellias because I have so many in my garden. I did want to show you all this. This is our Chinese fringe flower, or Laura Pedlum. You can see that they dedicated a whole row just to this plant, Here was a blooming version of it. They're so beautiful. I have a couple of these in my garden. And if you live in the same type of climate that I do, get yourself one of these. They're so good. The other one that I've heard is really good is this one. I think it's called Grevillea. My parents' landscape designer recommended this one for our climate as well. I actually don't have any of those in my garden, but I think it's one that I do want to try at some time. And they were blooming at this time and they were absolutely beautiful. This time of year is also fruit tree time. It's when the garden centers get all their fruit trees in, and it's so fun to walk through and see what different varieties there are. One that I found that I've never heard of is Plueri. Have you guys heard of Plueri trees? I mean, it's some type of plum mixed with something. I don't know. It was so interesting. Then we, of course, went over to look at the concrete because, like I said, I wanted more concrete in my garden. We had our eyes on these bunnies over here because I'm sure you all know we have a new bunny. It's part of the family. Her name is Hermione, and we thought it'd be so cute to have a bunny in our garden. We decided not to go with these. They were a little expensive, and I also was going to a concrete store with my friend Robbie from Visit Our Garden later this week. So I thought I would wait. All right, all done. Let me show you what I got. I consider it a successful garden center trip. And the back of my car is already dirty, so it's perfect. Okay, so I got this gorgeous Lenten rose. This is called Ice and Roses White. 2 people stopped me to ask me about this that was in my cart and where I found it. So I know that that's a winner. And oh my goodness, my absolute favorite heliotrope. I got 5 of them. I think these are gonna go in my crepe myrtle garden bed. So excited. They're only in the garden center at this time too. And then Sadie picked out this beautiful creeping Jenny that's gonna go in the crepe myrtle garden bed as well. I have a rock in the crepe myrtle garden bed and I want to be able to see the rock. So I wanted to put something low around it. So we're gonna plant all this.
I think that will look beautiful.
I think it'll look gorgeous. More heliotrope. Thanks, guys. Shay picked this one out. I have actually never seen this one before. This is called Santolina or green lavender cotton. It smells gorgeous. Do you like it, sweetheart? Mm-hmm. Where do you think we should put it? The crepe myrtle garden bed?
Yeah.
I think it'll look really pretty there. And then it'll smell really good.
I think everyone will look good.
I think we should just put everything in the crepe myrtle garden bed. And then another one that you can only get this time of year, this common white cow lily. I say common like you should be able to find it, but you actually can't find it ever. So these are gonna add to the other two that I have in that crepe myrtle garden bed. Then we got, you guys are being so helpful, thank you. Angel wings, is it Senecio? Yeah, Senecio, angel wings, beautiful. Erin from Impatient Gardener, she's the one who inspired me to get these. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. And this is gonna replace, I had Dusty Miller in my crepe myrtle garden bed last year. I ended up taking it, remember I took that out?
Oh yeah, because we used to always touch it because it was the other.
Because it was soft, yeah. So now these can replace that. This can go right in that spot. And we found nice big ones, so that'll be perfect. Then Sure Start, of course, because you never have enough Sure Start, especially this time of year. Oh, careful with those. Careful, careful, careful. Let's do one at a time. Aren't these cute? So my plan for these is I'm just going to kind of hide these around my garden. So as you're walking around my garden, you'll just find a little birdie hiding underneath a plant, like just kind of like that. Won't that be so cute?
Or like that.
Yeah, or like, you know, like just kind of sitting there, right? And then people are looking at the plants and then it's like, oh, there's a bird hiding in there.
Like plain sight.
Isn't that cute? And then finally, something I've needed for a very long time, plant labels and a new trowel, because why not? Good? Don't you think we did good?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for going with me. All right, everyone. So thank you for coming along with me for a garden center tour. This is Green Acres in Roseville. Green Acres is, I mean, it's just my favorite garden center. And they have a bunch of them around the Sacramento area, which is where I live. And then they're opening some in, I think, the Dallas area of Texas. And I think that they're opening pretty soon. So anyways, it's a great thing. We are almost to the beginning of gardening season. Oh, one thing I will say is that I won't be planting most of these, especially the heliotrope. I won't be planting that until after our last frost. So I'll leave them in my greenhouse for about a week. But I have so much stuff to do. I can just put it at the end of my list and I'm sure I won't get to it for like 2 weeks. So it'll probably just go in my greenhouse, but at least I have them all, they're ready and we're ready to go. Yeah. Right? All right. Thank you, everyone. I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.